Yes, welcome back to Kamraatit podcast. This is the second podcast of the season, and today we are having Lucas Lessio as our guest. Welcome to Kamraatit podcast.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. So you were born and raised in Canada, which is known as the motherland of hockey. So what was your first touch with the sport?
Probably when I was 4 years old, I think. My father used to play professional hockey as well in the Atlantic Coast Hockey League, it was called at the time. So he was a hockey player as well. So he kind of pushed me and got me into it. And I've been a hockey player ever since.
That's I think it's a usual way to get into hockey because of your family. I think so, at least here in Finland.
Yeah, for sure. You see a lot of Finnish guys, their dads or cousins or something all played in Liga or NHL. So it's hockey's a pretty small world, and you try to help everybody you can. And especially if you have a father like that who knows about the game a little bit, you already have a little head start.
Yep. So why did you choose to play as a forward and not, for example, as a defenseman? At what age did you start thinking about it?
I don't know. I thought defense was boring when I was younger. I would rather have the puck and try to score than keep it out of my net when I was a little bit younger. So I always just wanted to grab the puck and just go. So I guess just naturally, I just wanted to be a forward.
Okay. So what do you think is the most annoying stereotype about your home country, Canada?
Most annoying home stereotype probably would be that we say "a" after everything.
Canadians are famous for their use of "a."
Although it's true. But yeah, that's you're from Canada, "a," and people like giving you a hard time about that, and it's all fun and jokes. But yeah, it's a pretty outdated, annoying stereotype if you ask me.
What was your first impression of Finland, and how do you feel about it now, about 2 months later?
My first impression, first time in Finland was 2 years ago against Jokerit when I was playing in the KHL. We got to spend a few days there, and I loved it. The city was beautiful, really good quality of living, compared to some of those Russian cities that we traveled to. So Finland was always one on the map that you circle and you can't wait to go to. Also playing at Hardwall, you just see how passionate the fans are about hockey. Obviously, I never went to an IFK game before, but players that have played in this league and my friends before said IFK, the fans are probably even more passionate than the ones in Jokerit. So I said, wow, and I remember playing in Jokerit and it was always sold out and the fans were loud. So that was a huge positive for me coming to Finland and seeing the country love the sport.
You would have loved seeing, while Jokerit was still in Liga, we had those rivalry matches against Jokerit because both of us are from Helsinki. So those were amazing. You should have seen those. But
I think it was called the Derby, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, it was. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, how has adapting to Finland gone for you? Have there been any culture shocks yet?
No, not really. I think sometimes when there's no cars on the street and the little red stop hands up, I sometimes go through and I receive some pretty dirty looks from people on the street. I did that the first couple times. Now I just kind of wait my turn, and even if there's not a car in Helsinki, I'll still wait till the hand goes green to make everybody else happy. So yeah, that was a pretty funny thing I encountered being here.
Well, let's have some self-analyzing now. What have been your strongest qualities during the beginning of this season, and what about the weakest?
Strongest qualities right now probably maybe my speed and strength. I'm bigger and maybe a little faster than a lot of the players in this league. Although it's a really, really fast league, So, I think that's what's my advantages have been so far. My disadvantages, I think I want to create a little bit more offensively. Even though I do have the production right now, I think there's a lot more that can come with that, and just getting familiar with some line mates and just getting familiar with the system we play and how we play. So, and it's a long season, it's 60 games. I think we've only played 7 right now, so it's kind of a beginning, but going forward, I'd like to create a little bit more offense and chances for my team and my line mates.
That sounds good, and well, as you said, the season is going to be long, so you still have time to adapt.
Yes, exactly.
So, what did you learn from your years in NHL and AHL? What are your best memories from there?
I learned a lot. I think being in the NHL, being with some of the top guys in the world, playing with some of the top guys in the world, playing against, seeing some of the things they do that make them so successful, getting to play with guys like Shane Doan, Keith Yandel, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Max Pacioretty on Montreal, guys that have really made a dent in the league and really, really done well for themselves, and just analyzing them and seeing what they do every day, how they prepare themselves, how they come into the rink every day, how hard they work. It's just, it's pretty, it opens your eyes and saying it doesn't come easy to anybody. There's not too many people that can just wake up and go play hockey and go home, and same thing. And everybody puts in extra work, and whether it's workout or extra on ice time or extra video time, everybody's doing something extra. And, that's what really opened my eyes for sure. So just the work ethic part of it, and trying to work harder every day, and trying to perfect, but get my craft better.
That sounds good. And I agree with you. It's really a good thing to learn from one of the best players of the league, so you can adapt their ways of playing and thinking about hockey and such.
Yes, exactly.
So you came to Europe first in 2016 and have since played in 5 different teams in different countries. Is it easy for you to adapt to new cities and countries?
I think so. Probably the hardest adapt I had to do was Shanghai. It was a really, really different lifestyle, living and everything. So, I think that's the most somebody would ever have to adapt to a place, with all the time travel and to time zones and going back and forth, and not knowing a lick of English in the whole entire country. That was probably my biggest adapt, was to playing in China. And I think now that I did that and I thought I adapted there, I think everywhere else where I go is going to be a little bit easier. For me, it's just about making the most of your time anywhere. Life's too short to hold your head down and say, oh yeah, I wish I was here, I wish I was there, I wish this, that. I think you got to be where your feet are, and enjoy every moment, enjoy every second, and spend some quality time with the guys, your friends, and hopefully win a championship. Wise words.
So you did play for a short period of time in Sweden, in Örebro. What was your reasoning? Why didn't you want to continue in SHL and went back to KHL?
I think it was just, I had some offers in the KHL, and I think it was just I wanted to go back. That's where my heart was set. We had some financial troubles in Zagreb, so a lot of the guys at the end of the year had to make their way and find other places to play. I played in the KHL the first year. I did pretty well, and was set on returning. And I got a couple of good offers from there, and took one in Riga, and then I just went from there. So I think it was just I just wanted to go back to the KHL, and that's where my heart was set.
Sounds good. Does it get easier to travel long distances? For example, in AHL and in KHL, the distances between the cities are quite long. So have you has it gotten any easier?
You know what? I would say yeah. Travel is travel. Me, I was always a guy that, if I can get into a place the day before a game and not play a back-to-back game, I think that's better on the body and better for the league. Obviously we have a lot of back-to-backs this year for fans and for money purposes, and I understand that, and that needs to happen a lot. So, but in terms of back-to-back games, I think I find that a lot harder than playing a game somewhere else and then having a rest day, flying somewhere, having the day to practice, relax, and then going at it again. I think you just have a little bit more time to mentally and physically recoup. So in terms of the travel, I mean, it depends in what sense. Like I said, if you're traveling 4 hours on a back-to-back, I think that's a lot worse than, getting on a plane for 3 hours, playing, and then getting on another plane for 3 and then playing the next day after that. So I guess it's all conditional on, where the travel is and that. But yeah, for sure, you do get used to the traveling, and it does get a little bit easier. As you get older, it starts to affect you a little bit more and more. It's not like you're 19 anymore and this and that. But no, I'm a good travel guy. I'm fine with it. So that doesn't bother me too much.
Okay. And well, one of the reasons I think in Finland, because the distances are a lot shorter than, for example, in Russia and between China. So I think that might also be one of the reasons why we can have more back-to-back games.
Yes, exactly.
So what do you usually do during away game trips, like during the bus rides?
Bus rides, I usually just talk to some guys, watch a couple of shows. We have a bunch of card players on the team, so we're usually back there playing cards and schnarps and stuff. There's a couple of good card players on our team, so I got to get my game going in that sense. Haven't won a game yet, so I need to start getting some wins in that department. But all the guys have been great to me here. They're just top class guys, top class organizations. So I couldn't be happier to be here.
Okay, that raises a question. Who is the best card player in the team right now?
Win-wise, I think win-wise it might be Julle Tyrväinen. Tommy Santala is there too. He's a good card player. Who else is up there? And that's about all that stands out right now. It's still early in the year, so it should hopefully the tables turn for my direction anyways. So but I got some good competition. It'll be fun.
You have a long season ahead of you. You can still get better in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So as you talked before in the interview, you played in Kunlun Red Star in China. Tell us a little bit about the hockey life in there. Was it any different from different KHL teams?
Yeah, it was. Well, there's not really any fans that come to the games. We probably had about 50 or 60 fans at each game that would come. So it was like a scrimmage practice game all the time. The atmosphere felt like we all said. But, they're trying to grow the game in hockey now. They have Wayne Gretzky on board there now too, trying to grow the game. And the thing about China is it's such a big country, and, the population is huge. So, I mean, if you can tap into any market of kids that, get kids wanting to play and make it become, just a pastime in China that kids see other kids playing, think it's fun, parents start getting involved. I think that's going to really grow the game out there, with people starting to come watch. And I think hockey's a game that if people were to give it a chance, I think it's pretty physical, it's fast, it's a pretty exciting, entertaining game to watch. I don't think it's like selling a game like baseball to them, or where fans are just sitting down, they don't understand the history of it, so it's hard for them to get into it. I think hockey, if you're watching 5, 6, 7, 10 games, you start to get more into it and involved. But I think you have to give it that chance at first, and I think that's what they're trying to do in China, and I think they're doing a great job. They're starting to run camps and practices for the kids there, and it all starts with one little thing, and then it all snowballs. So, but it'll be fun to see how it goes over there.
Yeah, and exactly. It's not something that happens overnight. It takes years and years of making it better.
Exactly. So they've started, which is amazing, and hopefully it goes up from here.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. So what was the most surprising thing about Finnish Liiga comparing to other leagues that you have played in?
You know what? It's a pretty fast league. Just like Sweden. I think they're really fast leagues. I think if you watch KHL games more, it's a little bit more controlled, a little bit slower pace to it. I think the skill level there is a little bit higher than in those leagues, just because obviously the money's better and people, that's where the good players all want to go, is to that league. So if you're not in the NHL, of course. So I think but definitely the speed and the conditioning of all these athletes in this league. You look at our team. I went to NHL camps. It's the second or third, fourth most fit guy. You come here in the summer and guys are just in incredible shape. We do the VO2 test and guys are like maxing out. I'm dying like 6 minutes before these guys are still sprinting at the end. So I think that's a big eye opener to me, was the conditioning of some of these guys and how well they treat their bodies, and it definitely grew on me as well. I've started to do more of the stuff they're doing and watch them and watch how they condition themselves so well, and you learn from everywhere. I think in life, you got to take things from everybody, and you got to learn and keep learning so you can get better at being a person and being a player. So it's been really awesome since I've been here.
I'm glad to hear that. So is the NHL dream still alive? Is it still a goal of yours?
Obviously it's a goal. I think it's a goal of anybody's. If you ask anybody around the team, I don't. For sure, yeah, it's still alive for me. I'd like to think, obviously it's going to be a hard, long road to get there. But, for me, I don't really put any expectations of myself. I just try to work hard every day, go out there every game, have fun, be focused, work hard. And, whatever happens, happens. And I think if you take the right attitude into every day and game, things build up. You start getting better and better, and things happen after that. But it's hard to see future times and always think about that and always try to say, okay, I want to get there. I don't really see life like that anymore. It's every day, work hard, play your best, and whatever happens, happens. So that's what I think about that.
So, what is the most important thing to do to make the team feel united, rather than just a group of individuals? Like, for example, what do you do to make the team more united and wholesome?
I try to be a good sport in the room. I try to always have a smile on, joke around with guys, this and that, poke fun at guys. I think laughter brings groups together. To be honest, we got some really good characters in our room that really get guys going, and part of good things together. And whenever a group of people, not even a team, whenever a group of people are together having fun, laughing, having a good time, I think that just brings people together. So I try to get some laughter in the room, and try to, like I said, this is the first time I'm meeting a lot of these guys. So anytime you can have little conversations with people, to make sure that, they know that you want to get to know them and they do the same thing to you. I think it's just little relationships like that become more and more and more. And the more people you have in those relationships, I think that's how you grow a team together.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, actually. And I've seen you've been really positive towards your teammates. Like, for example, when they score, you are always like cheering everyone up in the bench.
Yeah, for sure. I think anytime we score is amazing. We want to win games, and anytime somebody scores, whoever it is, like it's a goal for the team. It's so exciting, and to see the bench and the guys, how excited they are, and how good it feels. It's huge. You know, you want to score 10 goals a game if you can, right? As a team. So no, it's been fun for sure. And you know, obviously as a team and individuals, we like scoring goals. So it's always awesome to see your buddy get a goal or this guy or that guy get a goal. It feels good.
So you have raised quite a few questions with your unordinary warming up routines. Like, for example, there was the video on Twitter where you were practicing on the ice with only shorts and a shirt, and I think you had headphones on. So where did you come up with that routine and when?
I actually started it in junior hockey. A couple of guys on my team did it, so I did it as well. And then I kind of stuck with it ever since. I think we have a lot of time before the games, and you know, I don't like too much time to myself doing nothing. So, and I can't obviously warm up physically for an hour before the game. I think that I'll just exhaust myself. So, it kind of gets me on the ice in the game, kind of seeing situations and stuff with the puck and this and that, trying to get my hands warmed up. So it's just something I've been doing for a while, and I'll continue to do it.
Interesting. So are there any other routines you'll teach to your teammates, or are you just going to keep them to yourself?
No, they could see me doing it and stuff. You know, everybody kind of watches what everybody's routines are and that. So, you know, if any of them want to come on the ice with me, hey, I don't care. The more the merrier, right? So yeah, no, it's good.
Like at the end of the season, there are going to be half of the team in the ice.
Team on the ice, and then we're going to get in trouble.
So, this is one unordinary thing as well. There was a picture of you carrying a mattress with you before the first away game trip. What was that all about? I'm really interested in hearing this.
Well, I'm not a big bus sitter guy, so you know, a lot of the guys, they bring the gym mats or whatever to put them kind of on the floor so you can have like a little sleep or something before the game. I didn't know the bus was that small, and walked in the bus with a huge mattress. It didn't even really fit. It just fit on my seat kind of, and I was like sitting up in an L formation or whatever. My back was a little sore after that one, that's for sure. But yeah, you know, I'm going to have to find some other techniques of getting a good rest before the games on the away games.
You just need to get a bigger bus.
Exactly, yeah.
So, what do you usually do on your free time aside from hockey to like take your mind off of it?
Yeah, I like to hang out with my buddies here. Really good buddies with Kyle Quincy, Joe Finley, Ryan O'Connor. You know, it's a lot of the Finnish guys have families here and stuff, so it's hard for them to hang out after practice and stuff. But you know, thankfully right now, Kyle has kids and they're not here right now. They're coming in November 15 or something like that. So you know, but I like just hanging out with the guys, and if we go for dinner or whatever it is. And I'm not too much of a video game player or whatever, unfortunately. So yeah, just anytime, just interacting with people, having fun, laughing, joking around. That's kind of what I like to do.
Okay. Are you more of a morning or an evening person? When are you the most energetic?
Evening. I'm not a morning person at all.
I feel you. I am not a morning person at all. Okay, so at the end of this interview, we are going to have a few this or that questions. So we have two options and you need to pick one of those. Okay. So, fall or spring?
Spring.
Traveling via train or via plane?
Plane.
Goal in the shootouts or during overtime?
Overtime.
Rock or rap music?
Rap music.
That was a surprise. I was thinking you would be more a rock person. The more you know. KHL or Liga?
Liga.
Christmas or New Year's?
Christmas.
Football or soccer?
Football.
Rain or snow?
Snow.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
That was a quick one.
Yeah.
Okay, and Coca-Cola or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Thank you, Luke. It has been a pleasure, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.